I'm John Rhymes. I'm applying for the Emerging Voices in AI Fellowship at the Center for Humane Technology, and I'm looking specifically at this first set of questions, this set about AI and cognition. Now, I'm a philosophy and humanities professor at a college in Quebec, Canada, located about 30 minutes west of downtown Montreal, and I am certainly not the first person. I am certainly not the first philosophy professor to see their students increasingly rely on AI systems to do all of their work for them. But I do think I have a unique perspective on it. And I do think that I would look at it through a more nuanced lens than someone who just reads these questions that you're asking at a surface level. And the answers you'll get to these questions, if addressed at a surface level, are probably very predictable. They'll probably say something like, increased AI reliance reduces critical thinking skills. AI can enhance critical thinking skills if used properly, and here's where we'll draw that line. And those could be good answers, but I don't think they'll really get at the underlying issue that is at play here. And I don't think they'll be able to use a conceptual framework that really works to motivate answers to all of these questions at the same time. These questions are asking a lot, right? They range from asking if AI is like a tool, to asking what happens to critical thinking when we increasingly offload, to stating if this is different between adults and children. There's a lot going on here, right? So the challenge is to go one step deeper. And that's where I see myself as a really good fit for addressing these questions. And what I see myself doing is taking all of these questions that are up there and messy and figuring out what underlies all of them. And to me, that is autonomy, and that is intellectual autonomy. So what does that mean? What do I propose, and why am I good at, doing this? So first of all, I would restructure all of these questions into two specific guiding research questions. And the first would be, how is intellectual autonomy preserved, transformed, strengthened, or weakened under conditions of increasing AI reliance? And the second one is, what must humans retain in order to remain autonomous thinkers under conditions of AI dependence? And most importantly, how do we maintain those? How do we retain those things? Now, why am I a good fit to answer those questions? Well, it stems from my expertise and my philosophical research that I did in my graduate studies at Dalhousie University in Halifax, Nova Scotia. So my graduate school research explored how recommender systems and artificial intelligence on social media are negatively impacting an individual's ability to become autonomous with respect to certain beliefs that they have acquired online. I specialize in autonomy theory at a cognitive/intellectual level. What does that mean? Well, what does it mean for your thinking and for your beliefs to be authentically yours in a world in which they are so heavily influenced by external sources? And these sources can be other people, institutions, social media. Now, I think artificial intelligence or generative AI is an entirely different kind of external source, but I think that this framework of relational autonomy theory can really provide enough insight to get those questions and see how that framework can be applied. So I used extended mind theory, which would help with this tool question. I used feminist relational autonomy theory. I used Kantian autonomy theory. I used tech ethics, epistemology, and thinking theory, whatever you want to call it, to argue my case. Now, my real conviction is that Silicon Valley profits off of eroding individual autonomy. I think that every time they can make an individual, anytime that big tech can make an individual less autonomous, they make a buck off that. And I think it's really, really time that the field of tech ethics starts explicitly looking at autonomy as the nucleus of all of these problems. So to conclude, why me? I see the underlying foundational issue at play here that unites and underlies all of these questions. And I see this issue as autonomy, and I would consider myself pretty well versed in autonomy theory. This issue has the literature, has the tools, has the thinkers, both alive and dead, has the existing philosophical frameworks necessary to answer it and apply it to this issue of AI offloading cognition. And I have the background to be able to do that. And I would really, really, really love to be able to apply it at an institution like the Center for Humane Technology. So thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. I don't mean to change the research question, but I think it could provide some insight.